Push it real good. Push it real good. Hey guys. Hey. We're here. I don't know how. It is only episode 3.
Guys, so much happens every Monday.
I feel like we're trying to like pack this like giant Christmas tree into a teeny tiny box.
Oh,
because it's always a gift.
That is the best analogy I've ever heard.
It really is though. It feels like we're just trying to like,
and we're just sitting on the box, just shoving in the spruce.
Like
we're just like
packing for a trip, and you don't want to pay for an extra luggage.
Okay, and we gotta watch that 50-pound limit, girl.
Okay.
So we're gonna try to keep it at 30 minutes, but let's just be real here.
Yeah, have grace.
Have grace, because we don't want to cut short on the stuff you need to know.
This is all very important.
So much happened. So let's just jump right in.
Jump right into group date, because I mean that's where essentially where we started.
We jumped into group date 1, the push it real good date.
That's right. Push it real.
And it was Jonathan, Mateo, who we're not sure who he is.
John Paul Jones.
Kevin,
Jed,
Tyler C,
Mike,
and of course,
always be Cam.
always be Cam. So, and thank goodness Cam was going to have some time.
Yes.
Plus, it's hard. He's had no time.
He's had no time.
But no time.
So thoughtful of other people.
It's been, okay, and so they run up to her. Big Mike takes the lead.
Picks her up, and he's just like twirling around his prize.
It's just Mike and Hannah day.
Well, I mean,
Does anyone else really matter?
No, not that one. They're all like, Mike, leave some for us. Like, bro, come on.
And then they go upstairs and find...
They run into Jason Biggs.
Yep, and his wife, Jenny Malone.
Jenny Mullins.
Mullins is not.
That was a previous Molly, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, they were there, and I'm sorry, but when they walked in, they were giving fake labor John Paul Jones's face, pretty much all the guy's face, but his face was like, oh, it was not comfortable.
And he was like the guy from American Pie. It's so good. And then they had like a little school session with little desks, and they started talking about female anatomy, specifically about pregnancy.
Yes.
Which thankfully we had Tyler C with us, who remembers that pregnancy is just a woman getting bigger and eating a lot more. So that's really, he broke it down for us.
All it is.
That's the only parts that really matter for the significant other, I guess.
It was so, okay, I can't talk trash about this moment.
Okay.
Because I was trying to answer the questions with them. Mind you, I've had children, and I am a woman. And
we'll
they were
say,
like, which organ grows? And I go, I don't know.
Oh, that one was tricky. And
I
I appreciated the uterus and ovaries answers. And Jed with the placenta.
I know, I was like, go Jed.
But then Hannah trying too hard with the,
he knows
this is why you're on a woman. I was like, that has nothing to do. Anyway.
But good for you for knowing.
And then the
points.
gestational.
I didn't know that. I didn't even know what gestation.
So I think that's what happened to Cam. But then it had me thinking, well, so what did Cam think it meant?
Like maybe like, because even if it was the year cycle, maybe that's not even right.
But I know, I was like, does he think her cycles are 2 weeks? If he had a girlfriend with a 2-week cycle, she needs to see her OBGYN. That's what I'm saying. But
it's true.
Some people, I guess, but yeah,
I don't know.
It was rough.
So that was hard to watch. But then the next part was also a really good one, because they breastfed and they nipple clamped them with clothespins. It was amazing, and also was like, yes, do it again, do it harder.
But I thought it does hurt. There were some faces of guys that were maybe enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, that's a look.
They were pretending they weren't.
I can't tell if that face is a face of like a kind of like it or like wish it would stop face. And I was like, this is making me uncomfortable.
That's awesome.
I'm feeling uncomfortable. And then we went to the real test.
And the most important test,
which was
labor pains. Like when they pretend.
Yeah, so like they put like the shock, the electropads on their abs, and then but it's the same frequency, I guess, that our contractions.
Yeah,
contractions.
And I saw she said like this is a little one, this is a bigger one. So I mean, they really got to feel those, which was hilarious.
Yeah, and Kevin jumped in first.
Yes,
he went for it.
He went first, and I think they all handled it really well. I think.
Did they?
Not all.
Okay, so some of my favorites. One of my favorite moments was Mike, when his eyes literally
crossed. I was like,
you go, what? But did he just go cross-eyed? This was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that like secretly gets a little bit too much pleasure out of
I'm so glad you mentioned that because I honestly think that Hannah does. Because every time we're looking back on these moments, we're like, oh, we can do this to somebody, or I can eat these bugs. She's like, eat all the bugs. Do this too. She is all about like, I want to watch you do gross things and I want to watch you suffer.
Oh my God,
she's
super
into it.
She's so into it. That's so true. I didn't even think about the bugs thing too.
So she's not probably like loving this date. John Paul Jones was a mess.
He was so nervous. Just like even watching the other guys do it, like his face was just like, oh my God. And then my other favorite was Tyler C, where he like tried to play it cool. He's like, I'm just here. And I love Hannah's comment. That was a good comment.
Yes.
That he's acting like he's in a photo shoot.
Yeah. Well, when they told him like you can't put your hand back, you know he was back there like grabbing his hair, like pretending it doesn't hurt.
And then her and Jed being a little bit too intense with it. I was like, we're not really having
seahorses. He was like, I'll carry your baby. I'll carry your baby. They're seahorses. He's like, I will carry your baby. And she will look at him and be like, I'm here for you.
Like, I'm okay. You're okay. We're okay. I was like, they are. And they were like breathing together.
They were seriously having a child. Some even said that. They were like, okay, we're not really having a baby.
It was so good. So I was laughing so hard.
Yes.
Like I literally, especially when JPJ almost fell off the table. I was literally peeing myself because I have had a baby and I was almost peeing myself just laughing from that. It was so good.
JPJ.
And then we went to the cocktail party.
Yeah.
And Cam kind of made this like announcement that was like, I think he was like trying to warn the guys, like, I'm gonna steal your time again.
I felt like he was trying to say honor my time.
Like I haven't had any time with her.
Yeah, like I felt like he was trying to say like back off to you guys, but then he was also like, but you do you, but also just know I haven't gotten any time.
Really weird mixed signals. But I do. Okay, so I can't figure out Tyler C. Like I can't tell if he has a personality or if he doesn't. But he did make an amazing analogy, and he was like, dude, but it's like first grade soccer. If we all just go for the ball at the same time, it's like pointless.
It's a hot mess.
Like there has to be some respect of the rules and boundaries. And I was like, that was a really insightful.
It is, and it was true.
It was true. But he didn't register it. Cam didn't. Cam didn't let that sink in.
No, and you see that like right away.
Yes, and then but Jed jumped in first to steal her, and he stole some chicken nuggets on the way out,
which was really cute. And I didn't realize there were chicken nuggets there. Okay, and when he was like, let's make a wish on a chicken nugget, I was like, does she just like chicken nuggets? Why are there always chicken nuggets?
Are we missing something? I don't know. Did she say at some point that she's like
at the beginning of the school year when you learn about the teacher, and it's like my favorite food. Each one of the guys gets something. Like
maybe she like made a comment about being a nugget lover.
But they threw a nugget.
There's lots of throwing of nuggets this season.
Throwing of nuggets and
lots of poultry throwing. It's just really.
But now we've learned it could be good, positive, or negative.
Oh, that's true.
Positive chicken throwing.
Unlike in the past of negative chicken throwing. That's so great.
But it was good too.
Did you worry about who the nugget would hit below?
Because I heard if you drop a penny off a building, like somebody could die.
I kind of had a moment where I was like worried about that. I was like, I hope these nuggets aren't hitting anybody.
Yeah.
Or like some poor person's having like the worst day ever. And they're like,
it's kind of like the fence jumping thing. Like somebody was down there to catch the nuggets. The big net, like a fire.
Yeah.
Like a fire company was there. So they were there. They were ready to catch the nuggets. I don't get all the chicken nuggets either. Yeah, we're right there.
Going on. Maybe a sponsor.
I don't know.
But Jed and her did have some serious moments.
Well, and I like that he plugged it in at the end and was like, "Let me know what your wishes on our one-on-one." So he was kind of like saying like, "I'm setting the
And she said she wants to move to Nashville. So
they're really feeling each other. She really likes Jed, and Jed's kind of.
And they kind of are a good match. And then the next one-on-one group time was Mike.
Yeah, and so he really opened up. He shared some very personal things that he was triggered by that day.
Yeah. I mean, like, I kind of felt for him because he said, I felt like it was an appropriate share. Like, he's like, this day, all this baby labor stuff, like, it brought up this memory, and he shared about how his ex-girlfriend and him lost a child in the second trimester.
And no matter when it happens, it's always you carry that with you, and it always hurts. But it's just like, you don't know when that happened either.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's so hard.
I know, and it was like a trigger day for him, I'm sure. I felt like a really appropriate, vulnerable share. It was also an interesting share because he did mention, like, he wasn't quite there for his girlfriend, and it was,
Yeah.
I think he was open with not just the loss that he felt, but with the,
where he fell short for her.
yeah, like
Which
a little
I
bit of,
really appreciate.
yeah,
I
saying, I
respect that,
kind of
knowing-
missed the ball here, but, I felt a little bad. I was like, that kind of secretly must have been a painful day for him. I don't know.
But that even shows more just, he's really trying to have a good attitude and be there and care about her and,
Yeah.
because I don't want to downplay those feelings at all, but he really was trying to,
Yeah.
be his best self through
He was having a great time all day.
And I respect that.
I really do too. And I think it would have been appropriate if he hadn't been able to
Mhm.
do that. But he really...
He showed all sides of himself. It was beautiful.
I think he did a good job.
He did a good job.
And I feel like Hannah was trying to respond in a really great way. I felt like she was trying to be there for him.
She was respectful.
And she was trying to say something, but she couldn't really finish.
No, she couldn't finish not one, not two, but 4 times. 4 times. And he said, now Mike said 3, but I counted. It was actually 4 times.
Guys.
This boy, Cam, who is so busy always being Cam, that he cannot bother to think, can I just give this person a minute? It's obviously a serious conversation, even if you don't know.
It was so rough. Were you not... Like,
I was
I was
cringing.
literally... Yes. Like, my stomach was... I had tense shoulders.
Yes.
Like, I was in a mode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was viscerally feeling this.
Mhm.
Him interrupting every 10 seconds. And Hannah was even telling him to leave.
She looked so frustrated. She was like, dude, go.
And I felt so bad, too, because it was, like, a really serious... Like, Hannah could have shown a side of herself, too. Like, it was just...
Well, she looked at him at one point, literally said, and I just want to say, clomp, 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 clomp.
And they told him to wait outside.
And he wouldn't.
And he wouldn't.
It was so disrespectful.
And it was also disrespectful that he was like, I have something really important.
Mike said it himself. He's like, I have things that are important. Like, I'm
You
saying
don't know what
important
just
things.
happened.
Yeah.
And it's not, and that's not how, like, you just don't go in and be like, here's something important, blah. Like, you have to have this conversation, like I know none of it's natural because it's this reality show and, like, you have a certain number of time. But there's,
Sure,
like,
but
some...
the date, like, for example,
It
Mike
was-
sharing that was appropriate for the day setting. And not that it would have never been appropriate, but it didn't feel forced.
That's right. It didn't feel forced. And then, like, Cam comes in and just 3, 4 times. You said 4 times. Oh, the fourth time.
Mike actually left.
That was rough. That was so rough. And then, so Mike leaves.
And okay, so I don't know how. So Mike goes back to the couch.
Yes.
And he's saying how he's so upset.
He's like, gentlemen, gentlemen, gentlemen.
and he's like trying to be all cool about it, but
He's
fuming.
not cool.
Fuming.
And at that point, I was literally looking at the TV saying, Mike, do not get...
No, because we still want you for Bachelor.
We have big plans for you. We
Yeah.
need you to take it down a notch.
to
And
stay cool.
I was getting nervous.
Cool, calm, and collected, Mike.
I was like, Mike.
So, meanwhile, back in the area that Cam was so desperate to be in, he proceeds to word vomit that he quit his job for her.
Oh, and it just, like, came out.
It didn't sound authentic.
It didn't. And there would have been, I think, a place, like, in a natural flow of conversation, like, you know, like, they're talking, and he's like, yeah, this is how much I'm so excited to be here. Like, I was this, but I took a leave of absence to come here, or I, like, resigned. Like, yeah, but also the way he put it on her was like...
And the amount of urgency, I thought he was going to be like, I have to go. Like, my dog just ran away, and I have to go find it.
Oh, yeah,
it's
like,
just,
with
there
this,
was
like,
no urgency,
I have something
really.
so important to tell you. I was like, this better be super important. And it was like...
He was so worried about his time, I feel like that actually blew up in his face.
It did. It did. I think that's what... And, like, why couldn't he have settled down? I still can't figure that out. Like, when Mike told him, like, I'll come get you, man, it became, like, a thing for Cam.
Yeah.
Like, it became an obsession. It wasn't even about Hannah
Well,
at that point. It was about, like, my time. I want my time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what scares me, is, like, he's not a good guy.
Mm-mm.
Maybe. I don't know. I have someone who says they know him through a friend, and so I feel bad.
He may be a
Like,
good guy, but he's being obsessive. And
he
he's
got
being too
weird
much.
on the show. The show brought out a...
But it does that to some people.
Yeah, so maybe in real life,
He's sweet, maybe.
everybody's got somebody.
Yes. I'm more like,
I know.
Okay, so what happened? So when
Okay.
Mike's out there talking to the guys, what was his name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan took it upon himself. To go be all the guys' hero, I guess.
He just, like, wanted
That was
to
the
be-
intention.
Yes, he came on way too strong.
He was like Cam, but like on the opposite end, like too aggressive and forceful, and he was like, I mean, like, he was physically saying, like, I'm not gonna let you, like,
I mean, he was like all over him physically. Like, he really was trying to use a physical presence.
I was a little frustrated that.
I feel bad for Hannah.
Well, Hannah let it happen also.
That's true. We talked about this.
She has all of the power, and she could have stopped that at any moment.
And
she was smiling.
And she has shown that she's willing to be, like, confrontational. Especially in this episode, we saw Hannah, a side of Hannah. We saw the beast. We saw the beast come out a little bit. So I don't know why she didn't say, like, hey, Jonathan, simmer down. Like, hey,
this isn't necessary.
Yeah, like, I don't need you to do this. Like, you're right. A part of her does kind of like it. And then she doesn't know what she likes. She is so deep. She just
well, she said herself, there's a fine line. I'm like, what is the line, Hannah?
Because she don't know.
She keeps saying there's a fine line between being like all about me and being aggressive in love and also being too much. I'm like, but you're not laying out what that line is.
You're making it hard for these boys.
All they know is they have to be bold.
Yes.
What is that?
Yes.
So I don't know.
Okay.
So anyways, that happened.
Yes. And then they come back out and they're all sitting on the couch.
And it's so awkward. So let me break this moment down for you. Jonathan sits down and he is getting stared at by Cam. And Cam's just staring and staring, and he looks over and he looks away, and looks over and looks away. And he goes, do you have something to say? And all Cam could say is, no, I'm just surprised. I'm surprised you would do something like that. Meanwhile, as this confrontation is happening,
JPJ,
Donald Jones over here is just snacking on some chicken.
Just eating my nugs. Another plug for the nugs.
And a third way that nuggets can be used emotionally, like a form of escape. Happy, sad escape.
Nuggets have so much purpose.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? This is full circle because the chicken last season, 2 seasons ago, the chicken.
Then Demi throwing a chicken.
And then Jimmy threw a chicken leg.
I think this is like one of those shows where all the seasons like.
Is poultry the sponsor of the Bachelorette franchise that we don't know about?
Probably.
There's like a big conspiracy.
They're not. It's happening soon.
There's a conspiracy theory we need to break down right there for you.
That's
okay.
Hilarious.
So anyway, that was so great.
My favorite part of that was John Paul Jones going, "You guys want some chicken?"
Yeah. It's like, you want one nugget? Okay.
Nobody wants your nuggets.
So great. So great. And then Mike got the rose.
Yeah, Mike got the rose.
It was good. And she even said a little bit like, that's bold. This is an example of bold.
I feel like too she was throwing a little shade. She was like, to be bold, you don't have to be, and I forget the word she used, but she was definitely taking a dig at the guys.
Yeah.
Who were being too much.
And then we turned to our one-on-one.
Yeah.
Connor S. got the card and it said like,
sail away.
Yes.
It's gonna be a boat probably.
Boat.
Sailing.
But then we clip over.
And Hannah's in an ambulance in a hospital. And she still looks great, which is annoying, whatever. She does look great though. And she's apparently dehydrated, drink some water, grab a Powerade.
I think.
Well, that's a good.
She might be hungover and just needed a banana bag. Like,
I don't know. Well, so what we think, I thought was about to happen was his date was supposed to be canceled.
Yes.
But she was like, hey, join me in my hotel.
Yes. And that was really sweet. And so Connor asked, which the guys got weirdly excited about that.
They were like a frat house, like when the guy gets his girlfriend and they're
I was like, oh, dude. I just heard she was sick. Like, why would you be excited about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, well, so Connor stops by and gets soup,
flowers, and a box.
And a card.
And he heads over. And probably some Post-it notes.
Obviously, sticky notes. And he heads over and he goes to Hannah, who still has her hospital bracelet on because you need to prove.
Did you really go to the hospital if you're not wearing your band for at least 2 days afterwards?
Because you need somebody to ask. I think she was desperately waiting for him to ask, like, what's that for? And when he didn't, she was like, are you going to just tell you? I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
But she's not contagious because she didn't make out with him.
Well, when he started kissing her and she was talking about her fluids, I was like, stop kissing him. Save your fluids. Like, you are just giving him all your fluids so you can go back to the hospital.
They had a really, lovely chat. He shared about his mom had a stroke, which that sounds terrifying for a 13-year-old to...
Anybody.
Like, on the slopes.
In a place that you're on a vacation.
Oh, my God.
It's on all the levels.
Poor 13-year-old Connor S.
Yeah.
They made out in a hospital bed, and then she kind of abruptly, I felt like, was like, doctor's orders, I need to sleep.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt bad for him. I was like, I kind of thought they might like watch a movie together.
Yes, I
or
was
like
hoping there would be more to a Netflix and chill kind of thing.
yeah, and then he left, but he didn't leave without
Leaving all these little stickies.
little sticky.
He was like, I love your eyes. You are mature. And I was like, well.
kind of,
I
but
feel like when she read that, she went,
do you think when
That's
she
what she
read
said.
them, she noticed that he put your instead of, he didn't apostrophe?
Did you read that like that? 'Cause
He
look.
put YOUR instead of.
Like, you're mature, like you have it. It's yours. You're mature.
Like he didn't you are mature, he just you're mature.
You're mature. He was trying to learn properly.
Grammatical errors. So it's fine.
He didn't like, I love your grammar.
I love your grammar. It was really
so,
sweet.
and it really made a huge like moment for her when she woke up at night, by the way.
Was she all the time gonna plan on sending a driver like to do more?
I
Was
think
that-
maybe it was like one of those like, let's see how I feel kind of thing.
Like if I feel better. Because I was wondering, do you think the sticky notes are what like led her to ask him to
Yes.
go back?
I don't know. It was just one of those things. She did seem, it was a total surprise, and I think that was really lovely
I
touch.
thought it was the cutest.
It was the cutest, and I hope that he does that for whoever he is.
Oh, I'm good. I'm not the only one that noticed that.
No.
Thank you, Kristen.
I literally didn't notice that.
I was like, thanks. Yeah, no, that was the cutest. And immediately gave him the rose on the second part of the date. And then I guess it was a famous person because I was watching with people and they knew the song.
Yeah.
So it was a cute song. And
That
they
was-
danced.
And we had a good time. It was a good night. It wasn't anything like eventful at that moment. It was just kind of like, okay, cool.
Yeah, we didn't learn anything more.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to learn.
So change the notes. Okay,
Second group date. Group date
second
2.
group date. The guys are going to be photographed.
Oh.
One job. So,
You're welcome. Basically, we're having a photo shoot.
yeah, so they showed up to a photo shoot and they're like, oh, we're gonna be working with models. Did you hear? I felt really awkward for Hannah when they were like, oh, you're gonna be in the tub with Suzanne, and everyone starts like clapping.
It was
And I'm
so
like-
weird. They were like, we picked models that we thought you would connect well with. And there were a couple of the guys were like, it's gonna be so awkward, all these hot girls on me when I don't have my shirt on. And I'm like, Luke P was like, these girls are gonna think I'm
relax.
so cute. It's gonna be so hard for everybody to
And
watch.
he's like, it's gonna be awkward for Hannah. And I was like,
Ew.
relax.
It was animals.
Relax. It was animals.
At first I thought it was just dogs, which I was like, oh, that's cute.
But then we see mice. We see pigs.
like a pig.
Oh my gosh, pigs are my favorite.
Like the little Susie Q.
Yes, and there was a snake. But besides that, everything else was
In
super
a rat.
cute.
I wasn't into like the whatever mouse.
But I was into what's his name holding the rat like he was a mouse.
And that was that like an alpaca, I think? Or-
Yes,
It was. I loved it. But it also
was fun.
was a shameless over the top hug.
for Secret Life of Pets too.
Oh my god! I was like, do we need any more Secret
They
Life
paid
of
for the
Pets?
episode. They paid for all the nuggets in that
That's
episode.
what happened. But should they? Should the Secret Life of Pets be giving us chicken?
I don't know. It'll probably be something else.
Vegan. Maybe they were vegan. We don't know, guys. We don't know what made them.
We don't know.
Okay.
We're just here.
So they did a photo shoot, and then also they did some undercover.
Yes, Inspector Demi showed up. I couldn't think of her name. Inspector Demi showed up, and she was undercover. She is destined to like root them out. She's like, I'm gonna find
I am
you.
gonna find it.
And so she set up all these secret cameras.
And I like how she was like pretending go to camera 2.
Like there's
Go to
that
camera.
microphone
There's-
connected to nothing.
That was yes, that's exactly what I thought. Nobody's
I'm
switching
like,
cameras
you
right now.
girlfriend.
Nobody's switching cameras at all.
all the makeup artist is like paid to hired by Demi.
It was not hired by Demi.
to
Demi
like
didn't
flirt.
hire.
And she was okay. She was okay.
She
Little
wasn't
flirter.
really
She was
that
okay.
good.
She was like, oh, you're cute. All these hot guys. Like I feel like she didn't know what she was doing, but that was fine.
Yeah.
And the guys all passed, which
That was-
they should.
But were you kind of secretly, when it was Luke's turn, I was like, this is the moment.
I knew he wouldn't because there are cameras everywhere.
Oh, and he knows that.
There are
Yeah.
cameras everywhere.
Oh, that's what makes that whole thing,
It
that's
doesn't
silly.
make sense. It would have to be like, okay, cameras are taking a break.
Oh, you're right. So it wasn't really, I didn't even think of that. It wasn't even that
Like,
sneaky.
yeah.
Because it's reality TV.
Maybe the one by when what's his name was talking to the girl at the animal trainer because it didn't seem like there was a camera close by, but it all
That's so
felt like
true. They
I don't
know that it's always on.
Yeah.
They know they're always being watched.
Yeah. But
They
it
know
was
that-
cute. They were.
It was cute. It was good. Peter said some sweet things.
Mhm.
Even
Everyone-
Luke said some.
Yeah, so the guys are taking their moments and taking the photos, and they're all done, and then Luke feels really desperate. He's starting to get the bug for like, I can't stand all, she's kissing all these guys.
Well, and that usually does happen in the
he's
season.
crumbling already.
But not in episode 3. Like, usually we see this start to happen.
Well, because nobody's professed their love on night 1.
Yes.
We're like 3 episodes ahead right now.
Yeah, and it was obvious that Peter and Hannah were having like a little moment. And other guys noticed it too. But Luke seemed to not respond well.
Well, and his response was, get on my back, I'm gonna do some push-ups. So
that's a way to our
forced.
heart.
And
if you ever want to know,
don't do the dishes, don't buy me flowers, do some push-ups.
Do some push-ups. And
Yeah,
especially if I'm on your back.
She was over it, and so was I.
It was kind of weird though. Like, she flipped so hard over that. Like, it's like
there had to have been something else.
I know. I'm kind of like, what? All of a sudden, just like
there was probably things they didn't show, like little moments,
microaggressions throughout the day.
She was saying like he wouldn't leave my side.
Okay.
So I wonder if that was kind of
like the theme of the whole day, because it was like all of a sudden you're like had enough of Luke, and I was like, well, I mean, yeah, he was kind of macho, but he also snuck. But also last episode he snuck in during your private interview time. So like, what? That's what I'm saying. Like, she kind of sends mixed signals sometimes.
Well, exactly. She's like, I want you to be all about me, but don't stay next to me all the time.
Yeah.
I want you to love me so hard, but not that hard.
Yeah.
Like,
it's, you know, not that. Like,
I saw a smidge of the crazy last night. Yes, girl. Yes.
It did.
We're gonna see it very soon.
The crazy is coming.
Yes, it is.
He's gonna self-destruct. He is. That's what someone said. He's self-imploding.
Yes.
He's from within.
It was hard, and so she was like, no, and he was like, let me walk you to your dressing room. She's like, I can do it. She was done.
She told him no.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really don't want you to walk me to my dressing room.
Well, good. That's she's showing the authority she should have shown already the entire
so
thing.
many times. Okay, snap to cocktail party.
Yes, cocktail
she
party.
says, Luke, I need to talk to you.
She pulls him aside first. You know, usually he pulls her aside first, so it was a nice little change of pace.
Yes.
And she was like, it's too much.
The beast. She came on strong.
Yes. But she was done, and at one point, I mean, he was like, can I interrupt you for a second? She was like, nope. Nope, you can't.
And I have two feelings, and they kind of contradict each other.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'm like a little Hannah B right now. But like, he wanted to interrupt, and she was like, no, let me finish, which I appreciated, because I was like, get your spill out, girl.
Yeah, say it all you need to say.
But then she didn't give him any time to respond at all, really.
But couldn't he have been like, okay, can I say something? Like, because he said, okay, and he was like, okay, we're done talking too.
Okay.
He was done as well.
He was done.
Or maybe
and then he said,
shock.
bless him, he said, I'm going to pretend like that whole conversation didn't happen.
Well,
which that's the way to a woman's heart. Just ignore. When we tell you something's wrong in a relationship and tell you our feelings, best practice.
Well, that's been his thing all along. I'm going to tell her what she wants.
Yes.
Which, by the way, may have worked in the beginning for the first 2 minutes, but it's not working now.
Oh, because we even forgot to say, and we even wrote it on our notes. When Connor S. was on that date, and he came back and was telling the guys, oh, she's super sick. She's in the hospital.
Yes.
And Luke P.
What was she wearing?
What was she wearing? Oh, Luke P.
What?
Oh, True Colors. True Colors shining through. I see you. Okay, and then, so Luke P.
So she's out talking to other guys, and he keeps trying to come, and she's doing the same thing as she did with Cam, except she looks way more annoyed. At one point, she literally puts her hands together, like she's begging him, I will come get you. Go.
Yes.
Go. Please go. And he's coming at Peter, because Peter came, because he's waiting his turn patiently.
And Peter was just gonna wait for her to be done with somebody, and then be like, the next of me.
It was so, he's like, you better just go. Like, the fact that he was that upset as someone who apparently he's cool with.
Yeah.
There's like some darkness, man.
But then, thankfully, Peter, even in the midst of all the chaos and the drama, he got a good moment.
They had a great little date.
His mom was Miss
Illinois,
something
like that. But he was already saying like, "You love my mom. I'm a pilot. We have a similar story as my parents. We could meet really quick and be in love and be married forever." And
and then when they were making out, he was looking for that wall. Did you see that? He was like, "Give me a wall, give me a wall,
give me a wall." And I'll pick her up.
His hand was like
praise the romper this night as she was not wearing a dress.
Truth, or you can't do that straddle. Mm-hmm. You can't do them straddle legs. You ain't wearing your Taylor Swift romper.
That's right. Mm-mm. But she was digging it, and they were vibing, and I liked them together.
I did too. And he is cute.
Mm-hmm.
He's not hot, but he's hot. Like it's weird. It's like a cute hot.
And the more he talks, I'm like, oh, and he loves, like, you can tell he loves, like, well.
He's cute. It's like a cute hot. Is
yes.
that a thing? I don't know.
Well, okay, so we have to mention, though, as well, while Peter is still talking to her, Luke is over here going, well, maybe she's not everything I thought she was.
Luke confesses that. I might want to leave.
I might not love her. I can't say that anymore.
He said that.
I hope one of the guys in that room will take this back to her, and maybe that's what causes the drama next week. But the fact that he was so
all that big hair, Garrett, all that big hair, and Garrett's
all of the confessions of love just went away as soon as she wasn't as into him. As soon as he doesn't have the power anymore. No, because there are a lot of good men, and she don't need that. And she said that. She's like, I have a lot of. I don't belong to you. He thinks he has this in the bag.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree with Sarah. Sarah's like, she was a little harsh. She like didn't give him any time to talk. I do think that a little bit. And
she's 0 or 100.
She's a 0 or 100 kind of girl. And I think she's also super impulsive, just like Luke is. Like, I'm hot for you this minute, so I'm going to play my love. Well, next minute you're too much, so I'm going to be like totally 100% off.
Well, they'd be tumultuous together.
Oh yeah, they're not a good fit.
They would not be good.
For sure. Okay, so Peter got the rose.
Rightfully so. They were connecting. That was good. And then pretty much the next, go to like the day. The next day.
We have no rose cocktail.
No cocktail, but they are going to do a tailgate party.
She's mixing it up,
which all the guys love. So they're like, oh, football.
And she's like, I need this to just be light and breezy, a lot of fun. It's fun.
She even said like nothing down. Like, I just want to keep it fun.
I just want to keep it fun. And then before we go out, Cam has like an announcement for the guys. He's like, guys, I need to have an announcement. I'm going to have to still Hannah first. I'm going to need to have her first.
These are some serious things that I might go home over.
Yeah, people have broken up. Other relationships have not lasted because of the things that I need to tell her. So I might go home anyway because I'm going to tell her these things and she's probably going to send me home.
The more I think about it too after watching the episode, I'm like, was it the things you said or the things you're doing and how you're saying it and being forceful?
Yeah. But he said, like, he was saying, it's been great to know you guys. I'm probably going to go home about what I'm going to tell her.
I was thinking something serious was coming out, like some
like a
life-altering.
Like he's something negative because he said it has been.
Like he's like, I have 4 other wives.
It's been an ender in a relationship. He said that, and then he said, I need to have her first. And Mike called BS. Literally said BS. We'll just see how it goes.
I just think he doesn't. He just doesn't respect him. He's like, dude, just stop. Like you're not about it.
Yeah.
Because he's asking people.
You could see right then, Mike was like, I'm so over this.
He's asking people once again to do something for him that he can't do for them.
Yeah.
He can't give them time.
Oh, he would never give someone else a
first. So it was frustrating.
So they start having their party. They're all having a good time, just having fun. And then Cam, light and breezy, getting to know each other. And Cam pulls her aside.
I just need like a moment for this because I don't even know where to start. I rewinded and watched this thrice, okay? Because I could not follow it. It was like, okay, so I had leg trouble and had an amputation possibly, but I didn't. And then my grandma passed away, which is really sad. That is sad. And then I had like a leg surgery and I had to give away my puppy. I'm not trying to laugh. I just don't.
Okay, yeah, we're not all of those things.
These are very serious things, but I'm just like,
the way it came out, like, it was like an Office episode. Did you feel like, because like the things that happen in the Office are always really serious things, but like the way they're presented and like come out, you're just like, this is outlandish. And
like, you can't help but laugh.
Or like, I'm just like, what is happening? This is like a train wreck. Like, I'm just like, why are you sharing this like this? Like, and he's like, it's like he wasn't getting a response. So then he's like, and then my dog died, and then my grandma died, and then I have to let my legs amputated. And like, since she's not like crying or anything, he like tries to like keep going. And then at the same time, it's like, and then
I was just so, I couldn't follow anything. It was rough.
Did you like double check to see if his legs were prosthetic?
Oh, I went through. I checked tape. I checked tape. His legs are fine. Now, I'm not saying he never had surgeries.
Okay.
That maybe that was he was going into. I thought I was going to
have
to.
We mentioned it. He does actually have like I don't know if it's a disease or a chronic illness, like what the right term
and that
would
is very serious. If he was talking, and that they didn't tell a lot about that. but if they were, because she even said later, like, this was serious, the things we talked about, but it was, and maybe it was the way they cut it, but it just felt so forced.
Once again, we're not in any way saying that having your grandma die and your dog bring home and your legs almost amputated aren't serious.
They're very serious and hard things, like for real.
But when you're using them in that way and presenting it in this, Hannah looked like she was like, I'm overwhelmed. Like,
I was overwhelmed, and I only got this much of bitch thing.
Like, this is like not a natural share.
Well, they don't tell you how long were they sitting there.
I don't even know. Mercy.
So that was rough. And so she goes, I don't even know how it ends.
She starts having one-on-one time with all the guys, light and breezy.
I don't even remember. I'm such a blur.
And then Mike says,
well, Mike pulls her aside and he's like, how are you?
Yes.
Which is, thanks for asking. You're a good guy. Thanks for asking.
He does always want to check in.
He does want to check in. That's good. Good heart move. But then I'm frustrated a little.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Mrs. Phillips, tell me about it.
Okay.
I don't have any more chicken nuggets to grab, or I would grab a nugget and listen.
But she wants that real. Mm-hmm. And I felt like when he was presenting the information, he used a phrase that I didn't hear come out of Cam's mouth. Again, editing could have left it out, but if they were taping that whole thing, you'd think they would have said, if he said this, that he wanted the pity rose.
I genuinely don't think they left that out, because I don't think Cam ever said, I want the pity rose. I think Mike interpreted everything Cam was doing as an attempt.
Exactly.
And I don't know if he was wrong in his interpretation, but I don't think it's fair.
He said it though.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to make it sound like Cam knew that that's what Cam was doing.
Yes, because I'm like, Mike, I'm team Mike, 100.
Yes, I know, but when he said
but that was a moment where I was like, that wasn't said. And if he would have said, it's like he's saying this because of the actions.
Or it feels like he's trying to get...
Well, because he told all the other actions about writing notes and saying that he is going to share things and da-da-da. And all that stuff affected Hannah. She didn't like any of that.
Yeah.
So he could have gone without saying he said this.
He should have left that out.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like, you should have.
It was definitely a bad way to tell her.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was.
But there was, what we found out that we didn't really see is that he wrote like goodbye letters to all the guys, like Dear John letters.
That's really weird.
It's like, you don't know these people well enough. Yeah, Cam. Nugget.
And most Nugget comes back, just like Cam keeps coming back.
Oh no.
So that all happened, and she was mad.
And she, as she's been doing this episode,
she's in mode. I think Beast is here.
Called him out. The Beast was out.
Beast was out this episode.
And she said, let's talk this out.
And she's like, let's go. And she's straight up, she's like, okay, Mike said this and this and this.
And she was willing to call Mike out.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you're manipulative. It felt manipulative.
And skeezy or schemy, I think is what the word was.
She said.
I don't remember. But it was either one of those things. It was that. And she was trying to focus on the facts too. She was like, so did you write these letters or not? Did you do it or not? And he was straight up like, well, yeah, I did. So she's like, so you knew this was a plan. It was.
But it also doesn't make sense because he was writing the letters like, he was so weird. It was weird.
Like he knew it would send him home.
But the thing that's sad is he was acting like it was the information that would send him home. And I kind of feel bad for him. I feel like he might need to find a counselor because I do think he's using that as like every time girls find this out about all that I've been through, it like is a deal breaker for them.
And it's not anything else, not the presentation.
That's
it's not that I'm maybe coming on too strong.
Like, I'm like, dude, the story itself isn't what is the deal breaker.
Mm-hmm.
It's you.
Because we all have things, we all have baggage, we all have like almost in serious situations.
He was just trying so hard. He was trying so hard. And I'm like, what relationships didn't work because you had, like, that makes me like, I'm like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. There's more to that. There's always more to it.
But I do think it was interesting at the rose ceremony, she threw a little bit of shade.
Yeah, it was, yep.
Not just I don't think that's a little
no,
shade.
she like whoosh.
She took the whole tree and covered it.
Yeah, so she was like, if I give you a rose tonight, it won't be pity.
It would not be a pity rose,
and it was interpreted a couple different ways. Some guys were saying, okay, so that means he's not getting a rose, and some guys were like, well, no, it means it's legit.
See, I thought it meant he's gonna get a rose.
Yeah.
But she wanted everybody to know it wasn't gonna be for pity, but it was not.
Who knows? That was rough.
Cam.
So, I mean, essentially, the rose ceremony was done, and Cam went home.
Jonathan went home.
Yes.
He came on way too strong with the revenge.
It was not cute.
And
it was
then,
not cute.
I mean, just to touch base for a second, we also lost a guy named Joey with a line of hair that we don't really know.
He was the first date one-on-one guy.
No, Joey is the other
Oh,
one. Tyler G is the
Tyler
first
G.
one.
I'm sorry.
And we kind of caught like this glimpse of Hannah saying Tyler G had to go home.
Mm-hmm. So they moved on pretty quickly.
But they didn't talk about it. They just kind of like let it slide. Like it was like personal reasons.
Yes. And
So
and there has, I mean,
there's rumors.
So we don't.
And I don't want to like share hearsay because we don't know
Mm-hmm.
legit how.
We don't know that, but we do know
There's
some
rumors that it was
accusations.
more of a producer
Asking
led.
him.
Producers asked Tyler G to leave because just like it happens in every season, as they move forward,
Things come up.
Things come up. People come out and are like, "Hey, I know this about him that makes him not so much of a great guy, or he has this incident in his past." So evidently, it was a producer-led decision, but
We don't know.
we don't know enough about behind it.
If there's any truth to it, we'll let you know. But we don't know. Right
Yeah.
now.
So Tyler G, Joey, Jonathan, and Cam, they're gone. Luke P is still here.
I don't know for long though. The previews for next epi look kind of intense.
Is that next epi though? Because I feel like they've been throwing that preview in since episode
It's,
one.
it's the fence jump. It's the fence jump.
We're gonna be seeing it all season, and
Yeah.
he's gonna be here at the end, and we're not gonna. I don't know. She
I
was
sure
so
hope not,
over
'cause that
him.
was so-
She felt. I felt like she turned completely cold.
Mhm.
I felt like
Well,
she
no,
went from
she-
hot to cold. Like
was
she
still
just flipped
sparkly.
that.
She was still sparkly in her eyes. She kept him. She wants him.
I don't know. She flipped that faucet over.
We'll see what happens with that whole situation.
But you know, guys, what did y'all think about Cam going home? What did you think about him sharing his story? We just gotta know.
yeah,
Know your thoughts.
fill us in, message us, and stay tuned for next week.
Push it real good.
Push it real good.
Dang.